Boom! Hello, everyone. We passed another account today. I had two trades that I opened in Asia session on Sunday, and they hit TP right before the massive outage today. The global outage was insane. This is super exciting, but there's more victories than just this going on behind the scenes that I'm more excited, proud about, happy about than just this. But this is really exciting, and I'll go through the sets real quick, then get into what I think the motive, what I think the core mindset that is letting me build this is, and a couple of the factors that are involved in building that. First, second account. I passed one account last Thursday and I passed another account today. That's two funded accounts in 4 days. Here is the P&L chart. We had 3 green weeks in a row. Super happy about that. We can look a little bit more at some of the analytics here. Get that one and this one. So winning trades actually run for a really long time on this account. 4 hours is my average win duration, which is a really long time. Win rate is 47%, so pretty small. And if you watch my previous video, the profit factor, I made $14,000 and I lost $6,000 just to get to the 3K. For this account, it was making 9 and losing 6. So a much better profit factor, better win rate, better average RR, 1.6. I'm thrilled with that because I'm making money, I'm winning, so no complaints on my end. Super happy with how this turned out. And now I've got 2 in the bank. And even more exciting, if you watched the last video, you know I got funded last Thursday. So this $1,000 loss happened on the first day that I got the funded account. And this is a 50K account, meaning there's only $2,000 drawdown, and I lost half of that in the first day. That was a really big mental hit. I risk heavy. I risk $500 a trade, so I've only got 4 trades of wiggle room before I blow the account, which is tight. I do this because I care about the trade when I'm risking $500. Maybe it's an ego thing. Maybe I'm just too prideful. I don't know. When I'm risking $200 to pass an eval, it takes a really long time, and I don't care. When I did that in the summer, I did it, and I passed an eval, and I did it again, and I got to a payout. My only payout of the year, which was $340. Spending 500 to 1,000 hours in 6 months to make $340 was awesome. I won't complain, but it wasn't. I just didn't care, and to be risking and taking so long to make $300 is like, I want to feel like I'm progressing towards something. There's a difference between being excited about trading and actually feeling like you're making progress building something. And when I proceed like this, when I win and have these days, these 4-figure days, 4-figure weeks, sure, I get excited. I won't deny that. But it also feels like I'm making progress. And that's why I get excited. I'm not like, I can't wait to enter a trade. It's like, I can't wait to have the opportunity to build towards something that's actually going to make a difference. So that's why I risk heavy. Big loss on Friday. That hurt. Made it all back and more today with really just good trading skills. That sounded cocky. Not trading skills, following the same process I have been. Which leads me to one of the post-it notes I have on my wall, and I love this post-it note. It says, "Addicted traders lose. Losing breaks addiction. Free from addiction, you start winning. Winning leads to addiction. Break the cycle and don't get addicted." That's a cycle we all go through, and I've noticed it several times for myself. When I lose trades, like Friday, I lost some trades here, and I lost a lot of money. It was one of my biggest red days in a while. And it was on the first day of my funded account, so I was super like, nerves were high, pressure was high. There's an opportunity to make money. As much as I'd like to deny it and ignore it, I just do care. I do. And it's bad and it's wrong. And I cared. And my trades weren't bad. There could have been better decisions I could have made, but they weren't like horrible trades. But I was affected by the pressure of trying to win. I was addicted. I lost. I was no longer addicted and I didn't care about trading and I had a huge day today. When you are eager to trade, when you are looking to trade, when you want to be in the market, risking capital for the opportunity of making capital, emotions run high. And when those emotions run high, you trade differently as if you did not care. And that's a mindset I reached today where I was like, I'm almost fatigued in a way too because I'm watching Asia session. Oh my gosh, I'm watching Asia session. I look at the charts at 6 a.m. when I wake up. I look at 10 a.m. for market open. I look at lunchtime and I look at the open 6 p.m. Again, like I'm watching charts all day long, every single day except for the weekends. And there's a little bit of fatigue there, and I'm not always eager now. Like today, I was not eager to enter more trades, especially with the whole top step outage. I just was not interested in entering anything. And that led to a really good, successful day. And that's the mindset I've started to enter now. And I think it's a really powerful one, breaking that cycle of addiction. Being in this fatigue state of I just don't like I'm funded and I have the opportunity to make some real money here. And that's super excited. But also, I'm not jumping the gun. I'm not running to the pool. And I like it that way. I think that's where real success is found when you don't have to be in the market. If you've traded for more than a month, you know that when you have the feeling of having to be in the market, that's typically where things take a turn for the worst. Because you start to force trades. I have plenty of journal entries where the emotional mistake made is listed as overtrading. And it comes from an eagerness to risk capital on low probability setups that I know I shouldn't be taking. When I'm not eager, I don't take those and I win more. Today was a perfect example of that. I took two trades, both in Asia session that closed before market open. I took oil shorts and NQ longs. They both closed early 9 a.m.s and I just stopped. That was it. That was the end. I was done. Partly because Top Step was out, but I just didn't see anything interesting either. And so I just ended up sitting on my hands, and that was the day. That was good. Great. Done. Move on. That is, I believe, the most powerful mindset you can have is when you're not eager to take those trades. You win more. And this is proof. I know it's proof. And I know the cycle, and it's a difficult cycle to be in because when you're winning trades, all you want to do is trade more. Like, oh my gosh, I just made $1,300 today. Let's do it again tomorrow. And then that's when you lose. And I've done that many, many times. And it's just about reaching that state, feeling that state, and trying to capture that emotion and remember it and feel it every time you're entering the markets, every time you're opening the charts, having low to no expectation of anything. Not thinking, how can I get in, but can I get in? Not, am I able to, but should I enter the market is the most powerful paradigm when looking at these assets. It's an unteachable lesson. I can tell it all. I can tell you as much as I want. And people have told me before as well. But you don't learn it until you experience the pain. Because pain teaches, experience teaches, and that's really the only way you can learn in these markets. These are unteachable lessons. I can tell you that this is what happens when you do these things because I've done it myself and I've seen other people do it. But until you do it yourself, until you touch the fire and say, ow, it's hot, you won't believe me when I tell you it's hot. And it's like the beauty and the curse of it, because when you actually learn that lesson, man, it's concrete. And then that's why you tell other people, because you're like, dude, I'm telling you this is what's gonna happen because it's happened to me. But they're like, no. And then they learn it and they're like, oh my gosh, they were right, now I gotta tell these people. And it's an unteachable lesson where the cycle just repeats over and over. And until you've learned it for yourself, nobody can really teach you, but they can warn you. I started my 6 months of trading on demo, and that was one of the best choices I made, because I was warned, like, I'm gonna lose money. And I guess you could take this as a warning, but really, in a controlled environment, you should take that risk, you should feel that pain, and you should learn that lesson, because that's where growth is made. Exciting day. 2 fundeds in the bag. Another eval I got, which is up halfway to profit target. So 2 fundeds, one's floating like $120 in profit right now. The other just activated like a couple hours ago. And then another eval that's at 1500. So super excited. Good things are happening, but it's not real. I'm not paid. All I've done is pay more. That's the note to myself of staying grounded and not being excited and not falling into the overtrading trap, because none of this is real until it's real, and it's not real. All this is an opportunity for me to spend more money on activation fees. So, but it's a step in the right direction. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for watching.